Hey guys, I'm Peggy from the Witch's Garden, trying to grow a cut flower garden here on my allotment in Kanagawa prefecture, Japan. Thanks for checking out my channel. Okay, so it has been a while since I've been down at the allotment because we're now into September, which is typhoon season, and that is exactly what we have had. We haven't actually had any direct hits from typhoon, I guess. We've just been getting the tail end, but it has been a lot of rain and a lot of wind, and the garden's really suffering because of it. So let's have a look around and you can see what's going on. Sorry, the sun's in my eyes. Okay, so if you have been watching my other videos, you'll know that this is actually the second typhoon to hit so far. The first time really knocked my amaranth around, and I had to come down and individually stake each plant to try and get it to grow upright, and it's actually recovered really well. Most of it. It's kind of gone upright. It's very, very tall. It's way up over my head. So I'm really happy that that didn't just die a death. But this is the side that is south facing. If we go around the side, you can see that the side that is shaded, we still have quite a lot of wiggliness going on. Where it hasn't quite straightened. I mean, yeah. I think that's as straight as that one's going to get again. But considering how much these were bashed around in the last storm, I'm actually pretty impressed that they're doing anything. And they are still putting out flowers at the end. I'm just not sure how usable the stems are going to be. It's going to be quite hard to use all of these twisty stems in any form of arrangement. But they look like they've mostly recovered. I do have lots of this kind of fountain style coming, but my more upright ones, I can't actually see the tops of them. Can you see that? They're starting to come, but they are a lot slower. Yeah, nothing coming here yet. They also look like they've been eaten quite badly. That's new eating. Oh, there you go. You can see these ones are just starting to come. So, although my amaranth has come back quite well, my cosmos hasn't. Guess which direction the wind blows around here. It's looking very sad for itself and bent over, and actually quite brown and crispy along the bottom, so it's not really faring well at all. This does have support netting on it, but I only put on one layer. For the future years, I know this is going to need 2 layers of netting to try and hold it upright. The flowers are coming, but they're really small, really, really tiny flowers. And I actually have 3 types of cosmos in here. I've got double click white, Dutch maybe? Double Dutch white, double click cranberry. But I also have one bonbon one that should be a kind of softer peachy pink colour. And I can't see that coming up at all. I'm going to have a rake in just now and see what I can see. But yeah, as you can see, this is looking pretty sad for itself. I also have more horizontal dahlia. So you can see it's starting to recover, but yeah, the whole stem has just been knocked horizontal. You can see the ones back there are the same. So that's not great. Although this one, which was knocked horizontal in the first storm, has come up. And you can see they're very wiggly. This is just getting knocked around by the wind. But I am actually starting to get flowers on my dahlia. It's exciting. And this one back here is putting out some flowers as well, although they are now being shaded out by the cosmos, which has tipped over, so I'm going to have to figure out how to straighten up my cosmos a little. Also, because I've not been down for a while because of the storm, a lot of my sunflower have passed the point of being able to be picked. They're all looking pretty sad for themselves, and to be honest, I'm really bored of sunflower. I've had them for so long. And that's all I've had, that I'm really tempted just to say, that's me done with them. Let's cut them all back and just be done with, say that's sunflower season over. Again, for anyone that has been watching, you know I've been waiting for my Chinese aster to come up. I've been really excited about these. I thought they were one of the prettiest things I had in the garden, and they are finally starting to come up here. You can see them. But they're so shaded out by this gomphrena that they're not going to do very much at all. So again, for next year, I know that my gomphrena needs a lot of room, a lot more room than I expected to spread out. So I need to give it a bit more space. And unfortunately, I think I've learned that lesson at the cost of my aster for this year. Another mistake I now know I made is that I put my sunflower in the wrong spot, which I mentioned before, and it has completely shaded out this entire row. So not much is happening here. Now this does have the dahlia seed that I planted down late, just to see if I could use up some of this space. So I might say it's the end of the sunflower, let's cut them all back, and that should give these dahlia a little bit more of the autumn sun, and hope that that is enough to get them going. They're actually looking okay. Sorry, I've got a military helicopter going over above. I'd say 1, 2, I'm going to have at least 3 come up from there, which is not great considering how much seed I put down, but better than nothing at all. Also, in this patch, these are the zinnia seed that I put down to see if I could try and get my zinnia to come up a bit nicer if they weren't planted out in the hot. Now again, you can see how twisty and bendy some of these are because of the storms, and there's a lot of weeds in here. So today I need to try and get on top of the weeding, and also I have brought down some more of my very, very smelly compost tea to give to these guys and to give to my dahlia, just to try and get some nicer flowers off them. So that's my plan for today. Basic weeding, trying to straighten everything out a bit, harvest what needs taken, possibly cut back my sunflowers, and get the compost tea down for these guys. Oh, what am I going to do with you guys? Oh, they're so tangled up. Maybe I can put them there. So these are the rose bonbon, and these are the last row of cosmos that I planted, and then next is my zinnia, which are also tall and like space, and you can see they're just not very genki looking. They've been shaded out, they've been squished out, so I think I just need to give everything a lot more room. They also look suspiciously like the double click cranberry, just with 1 layer of flowers instead of 2. Maybe that one's a bit more rose colour. But it's not just that they are not doing so well. The stems are really thin and really droopy. The flowers are really small. So I think next year I just have to be a bit more selective and realise that the plants all need more space to grow. And I have to understand, which I didn't because I've never grown it before, just how tall some of these plants get. I mean, it's like a jungle in here. Even the cosmos is almost at head height with me now. The zinnias are up to my chin. I mean, I've said it before, I am a short person, so it doesn't take much, but you know, these really do fill out, and it's hard. Realising how much all the plants are going to fill out, it's really hard. If you've not grown them before, which I haven't, and you don't know, then when you've got a tiny garden, you want to get as much in as possible, and when you're putting in the, either putting down the seeds or you're transplanting the seedlings, you know, they're this big, and you kind of look at it going this big and say, does that really need 50 centimetres all around it? Because it makes it look like you're not going to get much at all. But lesson learned, I put these in at 30 centimetre spacing, 35 centimetre spacing, and obviously they need more than that. So if I was growing them next year, then in my 90 centimetre row I would put in only 2 plants instead of 3. And although it might give me less flowers, you can see how many buds there are on each flower. So you are actually still going to get a lot of flowers, and these are the cut and come again flowers. So, you know, you should be able to get enough for what I need them for off of 2 plants in a row instead of 3, and you're going to get better plants, you're going to get stronger stems, you're going to get bigger flowers. So at least I know now for next year that what I did with my cosmos this year was too greedy. I need to give them more space, I need to give them more support. I also need to go through them now and do a lot of deadheading, because there's a lot of these that have either scrunched up from the sun or have had just been battered by the storm. I don't like it, so I'm going to go through now and just deadhead. Yeah. So I mean, I got some flowers, but they weren't what I was hoping for. I don't know if we can class this as a success or a failure, but definitely a learning experience. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I just got from my cosmos. A lot of short, skinny little stems with droopy looking flowers. They're really, really fragile. They're not holding their own weight up and they're breaking really easily on the plant. So they're just not very healthy, happy plants at all, which is really disappointing. I will say though that I really like the double click cranberry. I think that's a really pretty flower. So it's one that I might be tempted to try again and see if I can do a bit better next year, just with better spacing and maybe feeding the plants a bit more and getting them in earlier so that they're not having to contend with typhoons. But that's it, Cosmos. Good news though, I just cut my first ever dahlia and it's really cute. And it's not a terrible stem length. It's usable. Oh, I waited a while for you, dude. Yay! Something went right. Something went right. It's not a sunflower. Ooh. Okay, that's the zinnia that I got today. And again, they're all still singles. And a bit scraggly looking and not really the colours I was expecting. But they're a lot more usable than they were. And a lot of my, ooh, dropping one. A lot of my green ones are nice. I like those. They're doing a lot better. That's kind of what I expected them all to look like. But still, again, not sunflower. So I'm happy. This stuff is a proper workhorse. It just keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming. I love it. And it doesn't take up that much room. I could maybe do with half the amount that I've put in this year, next year, and I would still have more than enough for what I need. I love it. This gomphrena isn't as tall or as ready as it could be, but I'm cutting from this side because I want to try and get it off of my Chinese aster. Okay, hopefully that'll give my aster a little bit more light. Again though, this is more gomphrena than I think I will ever need, so next year this could maybe be a half next to my verbascum there. And that would be enough. Can you see me? I'm in here. Ta-da! A bucket full of not just sunflowers. I have some sunflower in here, but not too many, just the little ones. Hey! So you can see behind me that there are still a lot of my sunflower there. I could take more, I'm just choosing not to because I'm so bored of them. But I'm not going to cut them down yet. I'm going to leave them for a week for the birds and the bees and the bumblebees and the butterflies to come and feed off them for a bit, and then I'll show you. I've got an ant on the inside of my mosquito net. I'll leave them there for a week and I'll come back, well not a week, a few days, and I will come back and show you what I'm going to do with them, because if you've ever tried to pull up a sunflower you will know that it's a bit of a nightmare. It takes up so much compost and mud with it, and I really want to try and leave this soil in a better condition than I found it. I would have to pull them up if I was planning on doing succession planting, if I wanted something else to go in there, but I'll discuss that in next week's video, which will be all about how I am getting rid of these sunflowers. So all I have left to do now is to do the weeding and then to put on my compost tea, and I will be done for today. So thanks for following along. I will put up some pictures on Instagram of what I do with the flowers that I got today. If you want to check that out, it is just from the Witch's Garden over on Insta, and my Facebook as well is exactly the same. So thanks for checking out my channel, and if you want to continue following along to see if any of these late zinnia and late dahlia that I planted come up, then please remember to hit the subscribe button below. Thanks.